In episode 11 of Enigmatica 6 Expert, we get it on with some silk moths, we create brilliant fibre, golden leaves, hive upgrades, we create the bee enclosures, we automate the hives, give you some bee tips, we create a centrifuge, we upgrade the hives to apiaries, we do the apiary setup, and we start with iron and copper bees. At last. At long last. It only took 11 episodes, but here we are. Hope you enjoy the episode. Let's get it on. Right, so let me sort this loot out and then we shall get cracking on with stuff. Now, to wash these, do we just drop them in water? Yeah. But not the soil. And not the bones. Right, so what did we get? Just a couple of rings, some golden coins, some necklaces. I'm not quite sure what they're used for. We'll pop these in there. Yeah. 4 fences, 3 planks, and a piece of dirt. Makes a worm farm. Don't know whether this has got to be outside or not. I take it we've got to put some sort of compost or food or something in there. Oh, just like that. They were blueberry bush, I think, or something. I think that's all we needed, wasn't it? 2? Well, for 1 nest anyway. Yeah, just 2. So we need any hive. We'll use that one, seeing as we've got 2 of. We need 2 phyto grow, 2 pieces of string, and I need to process some of that nebu ore. Just need, yeah, 2 drops, which is just light nuggets. Take it we can process in the crushing wheel. Yep. Gives us those, which then turn into ingots. Yeah, that's fine. That'll do a full stack of them. We get uranium from that as well. Interesting. Now we've done the quests a little bit out of order, so for some reason this hasn't picked up. Oh, it's because we haven't made the stove here. Right, that's alright. I wondered why it hadn't picked up. So, because we haven't done the stove, it hasn't picked the gold inlay up, and we haven't got this done to get to the silk moth nest just here. So at some point I'll have to catch that up, but we can take that out anyway. Now this, I believe, is a enchanting, and we need 5,000 sauce, so hopefully we've got enough sauce. Pop those back in there. We only need 2 of these. Don't know how much sauce is in there. Right, so as usual with these, whatever's in the middle goes on top of there, and the rest can literally go anywhere around the outside. So let me just double check that. 2 string, 2 drops, 2 phyto, 2 worms, and the oak, well, any bee nest in the middle. And there we go. One silk moth nest. And I've no idea how these work, so I'll just plonk it down, and I guess it's a waiting game. Oh, didn't have to wait long. The only problem is we needed it to come down here. So I'm guessing putting it inside a room would probably be better, otherwise they're just going to fly off. And I need drops off those. Hopefully I can break this without it... oh, in fact, it came down, look. And there we have our silk fibre that we need. Yeah, absolutely no use outside. Oh, that dropped 3. Okay, well, we've got what we need off that anyway, but I shall create a room for that somewhere. So we can now make the next stage for this, which is the brilliant fibre. So we need some metal blend, which is sulfur and silver dust. And this again is in the enchanting apparatus, and we need 1,000 source, and that makes 4. Yeah, there's not a whole lot left in that jar. It's the purple liquid there, that's the amount of source. I suppose it helps if we actually harvest that and let it grow, otherwise we won't get any source back. So that's how we're getting it at the minute, by the plants that are growing. So as soon as a plant grows, which is probably not going to do now because it's getting to night time and they don't grow at night. Oh, there we go. That gives us source. So the brilliant fibre is also on there. Right, okay. So let's try and get this done quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And we've just got enough source by the looks of things. And there we are, brilliant fibre. Let's put one on here and see what happens. So as you can see there, it is beginning to turn more yellow, and the leaf block next to it has turned as well. So this is going to take quite some time, so I might come back to this later. Right, that's close enough. You wouldn't believe how long that took. It hasn't turned every single block around the other side, but it's near enough. So if you can look carefully at the block, you can see it's got a sparkly effect. See the sparkles that are in the blocks? That's what you want. And when you break, it should have a chance at dropping a gold leaf and brilliant fibre. So I'm going to break all these at once by vein mining them. And we got absolutely loads of them. And you can see the ones there that didn't turn. It's rather amusing. We might as well take the trees down as well. Although I'll probably run out of saplings now because I've just converted everything. We've got a couple of saplings left. So yeah, make sure you do it on trees that you don't need to get saplings for. I think I've got some more in the house. Right, so we just craft those to get the actual gold powder. And that means now we can start doing our resource bees, because now we can make the hive upgrades. We just need some grass and some planks. So yeah, I know where there's plenty of grass. Would be any planks, I would have thought. So does that work? Yep, absolutely. And they stack. So let's get started with bees at last. What you want to do is to create a square building which is 7 blocks long, 5 blocks high and 7 blocks deep. And why I ran through the middle there, I don't know. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 by 7, 5 high. Now what you put in these walls must be blocks that have a certain tag. And the way to see these tags is to hold down F3, press H, and you'll see there it says Advanced Tooltips shown. Now if you look at this glass that I'm holding, you'll see the third line up from the bottom says Resourceful Bees and then valid_apiary. And you need to make sure that whatever you block you use in the walls, in the sides, in the corners, in the roof, has that particular tag. Resourceful Bees valid_apiary. Dirt has it. In fact, most blocks have it. So yeah, that's actually step 1. Step 2 is you need to take a normal birch tree or any normal nest and upgrade it with the hive. So it should be on here. So this is what you need the gold powder for, Nature's Aura. And you take that tier 1 hive upgrade and just right click it on any normal hive. Now the hive has an entrance and an exit, which is this round thing, so that must be pointing to the inside of your building. Underneath that you want to put a dispenser pointing upwards. Now if you do it from above like I've just done there, it will always be pointing upwards. And then take out 4 blocks from that. Now we're also going to dig under this, and I'm going to come out to the side in a second. Right, so we need to be under there. So I can put that block back. So this is the wall, and what I'm going to do is just... Oh, that's okay, I guess. Dig up the other side so we have a way that goes all the way underneath, and then place back. Actually, we need to work out where the halfway point is in this. So the easiest way to do that is from above. Oops, come out the hole. So halfway down this wall here, we need that block removing. Now the reason for that, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so that block that we've just moved, I take it it's that one. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's definitely that one, because the glowstone there is in the middle. So just here you want to put a chest, and it's not got to be an ordinary chest. You need to put a metal chest, so that's an upgraded normal one. So take a normal chest. You could use many a container for this. I'll show you the reason first of all why you don't want a normal chest. Okay, so in that block that we've just removed here, if I put a normal chest here and then put the factory hopper on top, set this to max, which is the range, and just knock that up a couple. Now if we try and open that chest now, you can't open it. Now I don't know why that is. It's obviously something to do with the hopper, but if you upgrade this chest to a metal chest, you can open it, and that's why you need the metal chest. Okay, so yeah, metal chest. Right, and you need a way to get to this dispenser, so that's why we've dug out underneath, and in the dispenser put your shears, and then we can carry on with this part here. So let's block up the lid down there. Yeah. So just here you want to put a comparator, and I can't jump there, so take that glass out, and it has to be placed that way. Okay, and then just here you want a redstone repeater, and you want another one 3 blocks away just here, and then put redstone in between, and then on top of these take any suitable block and you want to place it on top of, and then cover all those up, and then put redstone here, 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 here and here, and then you can fill this in with glass or whatever block you're using, and that's now set. Need to put that block back. Now the reason you create this 7x7x5 is because this is the standard apiary size that you need. So once we upgrade to apiaries and we do away with the normal beehives, then you're set. There's no point creating 2. But that hopper there that we've put in only picks up 4 blocks this way, so it doesn't pick anything up in this row here on any height. So what we're going to do here is block out this complete row, but when we get to the apiary stage we'll take all those blocks out. So that means now that that hopper will pick up any item in here, including on top of this. If you put the hive here, it won't pick up the items off the top of it, so that's why we knock all this down one into the floor. So we can put our bees back now. And I'll put another flower in just so they can share a bit. Right, now the trick with apiaries is they can share this wall. So you don't need to build another one from here, you can just extend from this one. And same that one. Now because that hopper is under there, it actually will collect stuff up to here, but not in this row here. Oh, oh, they didn't like that, did they? Oops. Sorry, Mr. Bees. I broke your flowers while you were pollinating. Unless I hit one of them. If a bee gets angry like that, just leave them a while and they should go back to normal. The other thing you can do is going out of range tends to... See that they're fine now. So what will happen is when the hive is full, that comparator will trigger and then go underneath, and the repeaters will kick off the dispenser to use the shears on the hive, and then all the hive produce will pop out, whether that's honeycomb or something else. Now I've got an Oreo bee in there, so we'll get Oreo biscuits as well, and then should get picked up by that factory hopper. Set it right, which I have, and you see there it's picked up some of the wood that I broke. So yeah, that wall there is only temporary for that factory hopper. Now what you want to do is you want to get some bees, pop them in, not the... Well, actually you can use the vanilla bees, but you might as well use ones that actually give you something else other than honey and honeycombs. So you can have up to four bees in this nest at one time, but that doesn't mean you're restricted to 4 overall in here. You could have 5 and they'll take it in turns to come in and out. Now one of the most common asked questions is, how do I get my bees out of the hive when I want to breed them? If we take for instance, you see there's the big Oreo bee and the smaller ones. If you look in your Beepedia at say the Oreo bee, and you'll see there is a time in the hive, and this is 300 seconds. So that's how long that they stay in the hive before they come back out again. So sometimes you can be waiting quite a while for the bees to come out, whereas the what have we got in there, forest bee, whereas the forest bee you can see is 120 seconds, so that's a lot less time. If you're wanting to breed a bee, so let's take the forest bee for instance, and let's see what he breeds with. So you will always get a forest, and forest makes forest, so that's by the by, but you can see here a forest and a zombie makes a tin bee. Now this is the flower that you feed the bee to make them breed, so you obviously need both bees in the same hive, and this one wants any wood. That's the flamingo's eyes, by the way, and his nose, if you're wondering what that is when I sleep. So if you're going to breed 2 bees and one bee comes out before the other one, there's a simple little trick you can do to keep one there while you're waiting for the other one to come out, and I'll show you just now with the forest bee. Now I can't breed this bee, but if I now hold the flower for that forest bee that he's going to breed with, he's going to come to me and he's going to stay there or fly very close to me until I take this out of my hand or feed it to him. So you can keep that bee there while you're waiting for your next bee to come out. And yeah, that's one way of doing it. So as soon as I do that, change the wood, because it's his flower for breeding, it goes back, and if I put it back in my hand again, it comes back out. So you can use that to keep your second bee out while the next one comes out of the hive. The other thing you can do, there is a thing called a bee box. This thing, now there's a quest for making one of these. They're not that bad. You need a bit of wax planks and some beeswax and an iron ingot. This thing, you can take the bee box and right click the hive, and it will take all the bees out all at once. Now you might not want to do that because it could be in a pollination cycle and you're waiting for cones and things. So, but that is an option. There is no real reason to go above a tier 1 hive in this pack. normally there would be, but the way that they've tiered the hive upgrades, not the actual hives, this is a depreciated recipe, so you can ignore that. So we're doing this one. So to make a tier 4 hive upgrade, you need the tier 3 hive upgrade, and to upgrade the tier 3 you need a tier 2, and then you need a tier 1. So you don't need any of these hives to make an apiary, and we're going to do that right now. So you need to get one hive set up, get some bees in it, and get some produce going, which I've got here. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is to make the hand crank centrifuge. Now I'm saying it's the hand cranked one, which is the manual one, this one here, because the normal centrifuge has steel ingots in and we haven't got that far yet. We haven't got to making steel, and we certainly can't make the circuit backplane yet. So hand crank time. This is pretty straightforward. It's a bit of iron, a lever and a barrel, which is just wood and planks. So it's pretty straightforward. And what you're also going to need for this is, can I use this glass for these? Yes, a load of bottles. And I haven't made it yet. Now this is a manual centrifuge, meaning that it doesn't need RF, it uses hand power. So the first thing you need to do is to put your bottles in the bottom here. Now be careful when you're putting the bottles in the bottom, because for instance the woody comb actually is a specific type of honey, so it's illuminating honey. So a normal bee will just give you honey. So we can try that. We can put these woody honeycombs in, and what you do is you shift and right click. Now I'm sorry about this because this is noisy, so I'm not going to speak and probably speed this up. Okay, so that gives us quite a bit of beeswax, and that's not enough honey, unfortunately. We need a bit more than that. So I'm going to process some... let's try normal honeycombs. Okay, one thing to watch for here is your food when you're hand cranking this, because it uses it quite fast. Okay, so after doing that, we can now take our tier 1 hive upgrade and upgrade it. I just need 4 combs. Any 4 combs will do. We'll need a batch of them as well. So you upgrade that to tier 2, and that completes the quest. Now if you go to that quest and collect the resources, you are given the honeycomb blocks you need for the next hive upgrade. You'll need some beeswax, 4 beeswax boxes, which you should have plenty of. And that gives you your tier 3. And then if you go back to the quest and collect that, you then get the honey blocks you need for the tier 4 hive upgrade to complete that quest. And to create the apiary, you should find that you've actually got enough by collecting the rewards to make that straight off. Now when you're doing this, it's not that one, it's the one where you've just made the hive upgrade for. Okay, so we haven't got the honeycomb blocks. So we can make those. It's only for and there you go. Courtesy of collecting the quests, you now have your apiary. Now, the one thing that we need to go with the apiary is the apiary storage. And that is another 4 honeycomb blocks. We've got enough. No, we've only got enough for 3. Have we got any more in here? Yeah, got loads. And then you can make your apiary storage. And don't forget to collect those quests as well, because there's more products in there. So all this becomes obsolete, but we're going to keep that set up simply because we can use this for breeding rather than the apiary. So what you do with the apiary, first of all, is fill in this 2 blocks here because we don't need that empty like that. Now I'm going to put storage here. And you can put these anywhere within the open walls, but I don't believe you can put them in the actual closed wall part. And when you place this down, make sure that that little hole there is facing inwards, because that's where the bees go in and out. And what you need to do is preview it and then align it and then validate it. Right, so it's saying block at position. Usually that gives you a big red cross, and I don't see one. Oh, I moved it the wrong way, didn't I? There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another apiary, put it here, and another storage, put it there as well. And I'll use one for metal bees, one for gems like redstone, diamond, emerald, so on. And I will make another enclosure here that is for other things that are not that particular type. So let's create our first metal bee. And the first one, the obvious one to create first, is the iron bee. Now if you left click on him, there's a bee breeding option here. You'll see that is the forest bee and the sandy bee, and you need a log and any sand. Now I know we've got sandy bee because we just got 2 of them, and there's the forest bee. So let's pop you in there. So sandy bee, forest bee, we need a sand and any wood, log. Now I'm not sure if there's multiple mutations. Sometimes there is, and you get a random chance of which one it can be. So let's have a look. So let's place both bees in here. Give the sandy bee some loving, and then the wooden bee some loving. The 2 should breed, and there we have our iron bee, which I'm going to take out of there, and I'm going to put the iron bee into the apiary. Now if you right click on the bee, you will see here what the tiered apiaries give. So a tier 1 apiary will give you 3 combs, tier 2 will give you 6. That's the amount the bee produces per time he pollinates. And more importantly here is the bee flowers. Now I believe nearly all the bees, certainly the tier 1 and tier 2, just use any flower. So that's nice and easy to remember. So we'll unlock the bee. And after the bee has finished pollinating, it should go back in the apiary, and there we go. So the Oreo bee came out at last, and let's see, yep, there we go. So we have that, and we can pipe out from this or hopper out from the bottom or whatever to get the items out. And this one here is still picking the items up from the first one. Spirit of birthing. Oh. Don't know what that is, but okay. Right, so we created our iron bee. Let's get to the next metal and see how far we can get before we hit issues. So copper bees would be the next logical choice. And that is a rocky bee and a skeleton bee, and we need stone and bone block. So let me pick these two up because we don't need these anymore. Where did you go? So 2 bees out, and it went straight into the hive. That was a bit unfortunate. There's not a lot you can do about that if they do go straight into the hive. Like I said earlier, I can keep this one here for quite some time, but I think it's probably gone in the hive actually because night time's coming. Yeah. So we'll let the rocky bee go in as well, and I shall go and sleep, and then it's a waiting game for him to come out. While we're waiting, if you are wondering where to get bees from, all you need to do is look in your Beepedia. So if we say the rocky bee, and then go to, I believe it's, which one is it? It's one of these. Spawning. Okay. If they're biome specific, like this one is, you'll see a whole list of biomes here where you can get it from, and that's a big list. So you pretty much find that the rocky bee is in most hills and quite a number of forests. It looks like hilly biomes looking at this. And if you're ever looking for one of those biomes, all you need to do is find and make the nature's compass, which is a very easy recipe to make, and then you can search for one of those particular biomes, and then it's just a case of getting lucky. Okay, so I'm holding a rocky bee here while the other one comes out. Skeleton bee. Oh, he's out, he's out. Right, okay, so bone meal, not bone block it. And there's our copper bee, which I will snag and pop into the apiary. Where did you go? There. And import and unlock.